Okay, so if you look at this slide, this is an overview of what HMS has to offer. We have 4 key product brands, as you can see at the bottom of the slide. Anybus focus on protocol translators and wireless solutions. So for example, if you need to connect a Profibus device to a Q series PLC with CC-Link IE field, then we will have the gateway for that. The bridge and the boards will provide wireless connections between the MELSEC controllers and the device, or to be used as an access point in applications such as AGVs or robots. Next up is E1, which covers remote solutions for secured remote access and data collections from the controller. So this will be the main highlight for today. Intersys offer gateways that specialize in building automation protocols such as PACnet, Longworks, KNX, and also brand-specific smart home interfaces for aircon systems, including Mitsubishi Electric, of course. Last but not least, we have ICSET, which focus on machine-level communications on CAN protocol. So we offer products like USB to CAN interfaces, PC interface for CAN, and also automotive solutions with CAN FD. Within ICSET brand itself, there is also the Smart Grid Gateway for infrastructure projects that require protocols like IEC 61850, 104, or DMP3. So other than the hardware, we also have our cloud services, as you can see on the bottom top side of the picture here. So Talk2M VPN is a VPN service that comes with when you purchase the E1 hardware that allows you to do the VPN connection and also offers some data connectivity as well. So more on that will be covered later. On the left side, we have the HMS Hub, which offers real-time edge connectivity for collecting and distribution of data in the cloud. For selected customers, there's also the on-premise version. And on the right-hand side, we have our latest edition, which is the i4 Connected Platform that allows you to integrate data from multiple sites and with applications such as energy management and predictive maintenance. So if you are interested in more on any of them, please do visit our websites to find out more. And without further ado, I shall pass over to Keith. And Keith will carry on to share with us the overview of the eFactory Alliance and some successful use cases that have been done in both HMS and Mitsubishi Electric's perspective. Okay, thank you. And over to you, Keith.
Okay, thanks, Philip. Try to share my slide. Okay, so you can see the slides, right? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for attending this webinar, and also I'd like to extend appreciation to HMS, Philip and Martin for inviting me to speak in this session. So my name is Keith. Today I'll be sharing some case example as a result of the collaboration between Mitsubishi Electric and HMS as part of this eFactory Alliance partnership. So do allow me to do a quick company introduction. Okay, so there's a total of more than 600 companies that falls under the Mitsubishi family, and Mitsubishi Electric is just one of these company, and basically there is no relation among the rest of the company, and we all operate independently. And so what is Mitsubishi Electric focusing on? What kind of business? So we have actually 5 business area, and today I'm representing the Factory Automation System Group, which falls under the Industrial Automation System. So the range of products that we offer to customer is mainly PLC, drives, robots, all the way to laser cutting processing machines and SCADA visualization software. So as a manufacturer ourselves for all these components, there is we actually embarked on this so-called e-factory concept back in year 2003. So let me explain a little background on e-factory and what is e-factory. So it was it originated back in 2003, whereby as a manufacturer ourselves, we want to be competitive. We want to achieve better efficiency, productivity for our manufacturing lines. So it is also part of Japanese culture to always seek continuous improvement. So by doing all these activities, the result will be reduction in the cost for manufacturing of products. So in Japanese, we call it kaizen activity. But in order to carry out all these objectives for improvement, the key thing is to be able to understand what is going on the shop floor. So first is that we need to collect the data, then we visualize all these data into, it can be in a graphical format or it can be in a table format like an Excel sheet. And then we make use of all these data to analyze, to understand what is going on, where's the bottleneck. And from there, we will be able to determine the objective for the improvement and optimization. So back in the factory, our engineers actually embark on this journey, and they also tap on a simple tools. Okay, we call it SMKL or Smart Manufacturing Kaizen level. This actually is pretty similar to the so-called Smart Industry Readiness Index. So, but it's more focused within the factory floor. So it's more simplified. Okay, so it allows our engineer to plot on and understand at what level, okay, the current automation or data visualization, digitalization we have achieved, and then where is the next target. And of course, we do it in a step-by-step manner. So if you look at the lower levels, which is the more simpler solution, it will cost less in terms of investment, and to achieve it to the higher level, larger investment will be incurred. And the same table can be actually used to map out the various type of technology, okay, to allow all stakeholders, that means even management, so for all stakeholders to understand how much, what kind of technology, how much engineering effort, and what kind of investment cost it will actually involve in order to attain to the level that we want. So take for example, for condition monitoring, which is quite common at this moment, there will be whereby we need to collect data. So we need a network. So we collect all these data and then we adopt some form of AI. So the AI will be able to visualize and analyze before we can actually do optimizing at the edge. So there's various steps. So in order to achieve a very optimized plan, so it involves the various type of technology. And of course, we will not forget that in order to achieve data collection, we require the various elemental technology to support on communication network and the various protocols. All right, and the latest addition within Mitsubishi Electric is CC-Link IETSN, This is a new network which was launched just last year. The TSN actually refers to time-sensitive networking, right? So it's going to be, I think, most of this technology, networking technology, will be the future technology. So according to the post by Ericsson, right, it also states that it is foreseen that interworking of 5G and TSN will enable holistic communication for industrial automation. Yeah, right now the industry actually, there are institutions, there are agency that is actually doing testing on 5G, and well, TSN is still quite new, but we are glad that we have products ready to support this when we launched it last year. So in actual fact, for 5G and TSN, HMS is also deeply involved in both of these technology. So they are working very closely with Mitsubishi on the CC-Link IETSN, right? So if you have interest on CC-Link IETSN, we'll be having an upcoming webinar next month to talk about this topic. So there'll be more technical information, the trends on what is CC-Link IETSN, what is TSN, right? Okay, so Mitsubishi Electric, being a factory automation component supplier, it is impossible for us to do everything. So in order to digitalize, we require various technology. That means the IT, the edge, the sensors, the sensing. So we have to actually work with the various partners, as in the software partners, system integrator partners, and component partners to come together for collaboration to develop a complete solution, not just to offer to ourselves, but also to our customer. So in 2019, last year, we set up the eFactory Alliance Singapore to offer support in this region. And as of now, there's as of April, there's a total of more than 700 global partners, okay, globally. So if any of you is interested to be part of this alliance to do collaboration, please feel free to contact me. Yeah, I'm the one actually is looking after this program. Right. So some of the activities that we actually collaborated with HMS actually for quite some time already. It basically go across the whole of Asia Pacific. So we are showcasing the various solution available in events like exhibition, seminar, and roadshow. And today we are doing a webinar together. Yeah. So these are some of the engagement that we have together with HMS. So let me share on some case example on IIoT or remote monitoring. Right. Case example one. This is actually machine builder, one of our customer, packaging machine builder, based in Indonesia. So they have customer requesting for secure remote access, right, to view the data on their packaging machines. So at the same time, they would like to receive SMS or email alarm messages, right, on their probably on their smartphone. So the solution is that we recommend them HMS Flexi 4G modem solution for this. Right. The key reason is that there's actually two concepts on this solution. The first one is that the end user will be able to remote monitor on what's happening on the shop floor, what's happening on the ground, the production status of the machine. At the same time, if they were to run into certain trouble, they would like to get the machine builder to support in terms of troubleshooting. So they can actually allow the machine builder to log in remotely to help to do troubleshooting. And the reason why we introduce HMS is that it's due to the ease of use. All right, just by a few simple clicks, the system connection can be established. So if I were to make use of the MKL tools, right? So these are the areas that the various technologies comes in. So let me go step by step. So for step one, of course, the machine builder will deploy the necessary automation and controls, right, together with the necessary sensor and network to link everything up to have a logics for the packaging machine. So that's the first step. Then they can make use of eFactory starter package. All right. So some of you might wonder what is eFactory starter package. It is a sample project packages that is available for the MELSEC PLC and the GOT, and then it comes in specific template that user can easily make use of, and then basically all these templates are pre-configured. There's function block on the PLC to actually link to the graphic to display the data, right? So it provides specific function for visualization and also simple analysis. So the step two, they will deploy this in order to visualize the data. And then for step three, by adding this GOT mobile web server, okay, there's this function for the GOT that can act as a web server. By enabling this function and also adding a SIM card and some easy configuration, right? End user can easily access remotely to the control system to view what's happening on the machine side. And the other thing is that the other benefits is that you do not have to separately create another set of graphic for your tablets or smartphone, right? Because this is like a web server, it's like you are serving the internet whereby you key in the IP address and then the browser just pop up. So it's like a duplicate of the screen that you see on the GOT, whereby you are seeing it at your tablet or smartphone. And by enabling specific laptop, right, you can configure on the router itself. So PC can be allowed to access to the PLC also, and then using the configuration tools like GXWorks 3 or GTWorks 3, we can actually make perform diagnosis and troubleshooting on the PLC controller, or even make some fine-tuning to the program. Right. So this application actually has allowed the customer to perform remote maintenance as an added service. Right. And the next case example 2, this will be of a larger scale kind of case example, whereby it's for wastewater treatment plant. Right. So usually you will have a centralized control room, right? For this one, it is actually a centralized control room, and then they have multiple remote location whereby they want to monitor. There will be some controllers here also at the remote location. So they would want to bring all this data back, right, to the centralized control room. So usually there will be a SCADA system at the centralized control room, right? And then there will be connectivity to the remote connection to collect all this data. So the concept is pretty much the same as case example 1, but the only difference is that one point that I would like to touch on will be on the VPN, right? So I used to be with the project team some 10 years ago. Okay, at that time, the only way to have a secure and private network over the internet, the only way is to basically sign up for a VPN subscription service provided by telecom service provider. Yeah. So, but in today's context, right, this service is available as like a standard feature in the HMS product offering. So it eventually allows easy access through a secure private network to monitor multiple remote sites. Right. You can also connect a engineering laptop to access to the PLC for troubleshooting at the same time. Right. So that's for case example 2. Case example 3. This is also a wastewater plant, treatment plant. This is based in Europe. I think it's somewhere about 4 or 5 years ago. Clients actually have a requirement to have some form of a predictive-based condition monitoring solution to monitor their pumps, right? This pump is actually located at a remote station, whereby it's unmanned remote pumping station. So there will be multiple pumping stations actually pumping wastewater to a centralized treatment plant. And the user, based on their user experience, they know that the pump or the gearbox usually will break down, okay, within 1 to 3 years of use. And the point of failure will usually be either the bearings or the gearbox. So client was actually exploring what kind of solution there is to allow them to have a pre-em warning before the pump actually fail, so that they won't have any unwanted stoppages. So the proposal by our Europe team was to deploy what we call smart conditioning monitoring solution, right? And together with a HMS router. So this smart condition monitoring sensor can actually monitor the vibration of the pump set or the gearbox. And through the vibration frequency, they are able to know what are the components within the bearing or the gearbox that is going to fail. So when there is a change in the frequency, abnormal alarm will be sent back to the control room to inform the user. So user can actually do a planned shutdown, right? So it's a plan, it's not unplanned. A planned shutdown to do overhauling of the system for the pumps or for the gearbox. Because if the pumps were to fail or the gearbox were to fail, the cost of replacement is more than the overhauling cost. So as you can see, this was sometime way back, projects that already delivered sometime way back. So the router, HMS router you see here is actually obsolete. Yeah, so it actually also shows that the long-term working relationship between Mitsubishi Electric and HMS, right? And lastly, for case example 4, this is a more generic factory-wide monitoring. We can have multiple machines within the shop floor, or even the facilities management system, or even energy management system. Usually, a shop floor will have a SCADA server and then they collect all this data back to the server. And then the data is being visualized, right? So, of course, recently we have some solution for CNC monitoring also. So, monitoring of PLC, robot, CNC, and the machine, or even facilities and energy is possible, okay, on the SCADA server. So, in terms of requirement for remote monitoring, it can also be achieved, okay, having a gateway, and then this can allow the system to be connected to the cloud. All right. One option is actually to the cloud. Of course, we won't want to have all the data to be sent to the cloud. Basically, it's some of those management data like OEE or like production count or more non-sensitive data that you can actually display on the cloud. And then you can use laptop through internet. You can access that cloud web page, and then you can see what all the data that you want to see. Or the other way will be similar, whereby this is also quite similar to the GOT web server. But we have one which is MC Mobile that actually can connects to the MCWorks 64 SCADA server, and then you can actually view all this data that you would like to see on your mobile devices. Yeah, so there are quite a lot of possibility and ways to enable remote monitoring. So if you have any question or inquiries, yeah, please feel free to contact any of us, right? So that comes, I think, almost comes to the end of my presentation. Lastly, if you have any inquiries, you can contact me at my email, or if you are interested in any of our past webinars on example eFactory starter package or AI-based solution offering, the one that I mentioned, smart condition monitoring solution, you may visit Mitsubishi Electric Singapore YouTube channel. We have actually posted the past webinar videos on YouTube, right? And this has actually comes to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Keith. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Martin from the One Business Unit of HMS. I will share my screen with you. Okay, I hope you can see my screen properly. So I would first of all like to thank you very much for joining us today. And I would also like to thank our friends from Mitsubishi Electric for this webinar. And now, please let me introduce our E1 brand. And I would like to show you how we are helping our customers to easily start their digital transformation. At the end of this presentation, I will also show you a demonstration of our solution. So nowadays, everybody is talking about industrial IoT. I think most of you are very interested in the topic since you are attending today. And according to a Microsoft survey, nearly 9 out of 10 companies say that IoT technologies will be critical to the success of their business in the coming years. So there is a huge interest in these technologies. But unfortunately, starting to use IoT is not easy. There are many obstacles. So, of course, security, cybersecurity is a big concern. There is also the cost of IoT. Our customers know that they will need to invest, but the return on investment is not always very clear. There is also the technical complexity because IoT brings a lot of new technologies for automation companies. And about 40% of the respondents to Microsoft survey said that they would like to use IoT technologies more, but they can't because it's too complex and they lack the necessary resources and skills. And finally, because of all these obstacles, a lot of IoT projects fail at the early stages, for example, during the proof of concept stage. And at HMS, with our E1 brand, we try to help our customers to make a smooth start with easy-to-use solution that bring a very fast return on investment. So first of all, a few words about E1. We are the remote solution brand of HMS Industrial Networks, and our products are developed in Belgium, in Europe. And our goal has always been to connect industrial machines across the internet. And we have been a leader for this since about 20 years ago, when we first launched our E1 Industrial Internet Gateway in 2001. We do not only provide industrial internet gateways, we also have a very powerful cloud connectivity service called Talk2M. And the gateways, together with this cloud service, make a very powerful and easy to use solution. With our E1 brand, we provide 3 different value propositions. First, on-demand remote access. Basically, it's used to remotely troubleshoot your machines without traveling on site. So you connect through the internet. Second value proposition is on-premises data monitoring. It's where you start collecting data from your PLCs and sensors, but you keep this data locally on premises inside the E1 gateway without sending it through the internet. So there is less security concerns since the data does not travel through the internet. And finally, our last value propositions is data collection for IoT applications. So in this case, it's probably what most of you think of when they hear about IoT. It's collecting data from your machines and sending it through the internet to an IoT application, such as Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, ThingWorx, etc. And with these 3 different value propositions, we provide a very pragmatic way to build an IoT solution step by step. You can start by easier things such as remote access, which provide a very quick return on investment, and move later to collection of data through the internet, which usually requires a bigger investment. To help you do this, we provide 2 families of E1 industrial internet gateways. First, the COSI, which is only for remote access, and the E1 Flexi gateway can be used both for remote access and for data collection. So with the E1 Flexi, you can do everything. And with these gateways, we have, of course, also our Talk2M cloud connectivity service. This Talk2M service is a global and scalable infrastructure. So we have some servers all around the world. And with Talk2M, you can easily manage all your devices and all your users in one secure place. It's a very powerful system, but it's also very easy to use. And the great thing is that you can use it for free. So you just need to purchase the gateways and you can use Talk2M for free. Of course, since it's a service based on the internet, security is very important. And all our products are designed with security in mind, and we are even audited and certified by third-party organizations such as ISO 27001 and the STAR ISECOM certification also. So it's a cybersecurity certification. Maybe it's the first time today that you hear about Talk2M, but as I mentioned, we have launched this service in 2006, and we already have customers nearly all around the world. We currently have 285,000 E1 gateways connected to our Talk2M service. And in fact, we have even more E1 gateways all around the world, but some of them are not connected to Talk2M. This is only the gateways connected to our service. And even more impressive is the number of connections made by our customers. So until now, more than 26 million connections have been made through this service. Each of these connections is probably a trip avoided by one of our customers. So for example, instead of taking the plane to go from Singapore to the US, he could connect remotely to his machine. So after this introduction of E1 and Talk2M, I will introduce the 3 value propositions with first on-demand remote access. So to use this solution, you need 2 components. The first one is an E1 gateway. Both of our E1 gateways can be used for remote access. And then you use the free Talk2M cloud service. So you install the gateway inside, for example, the control panel of a machine, and you connect it to your Mitsubishi PLC and HMI or other automation devices to connect your machine to the Talk2M service. After doing this, you will be able to connect through the internet and the Talk2M service to your machine wherever it is in the world. We use only firewall-friendly outbound connections, which means that you don't need to change any setting, for example, in the firewall protecting your factory. You don't need to open any new ports. It's non-intrusive, so it's very well accepted by the IT people. To connect to your machine, you will use our Talk2M client software. It's a free software called eCatcher that is used to create a Talk2M account, manage the account, and also establish a secure VPN connection from your computer to the E1 gateway. Once this connection is ready, it's as if you are directly connected to your automation devices. So for example, you can start GXWorks or another software and get live with your PLC, your HMI, etc. You can work with the devices on site as if you are directly connected to them with one very, very long LAN cable. So it's extremely easy. And of course, the software I mentioned, eCatcher, is for Windows computers, but we also provide some connectivity solutions for any mobile device. So you can connect from any tablet or smartphone using M2Web, which is our web portal. So you can connect from any web browser. And we also have a free mobile app for iOS and Android. Why is it secure? Well, first of all the connections are outbound VPN connections, as I previously mentioned. So you don't need to change the security settings inside your factory. So security level doesn't decrease by using our solution. And then through your Talk2M account, you can manage all the devices, the users, and the connectivity. So for example, you could disable at any time a user, preventing him from connecting to any device. Another important security characteristic of a solution is that we provide LAN segregation. So when you remotely connect to your E1 gateway, you can only reach the devices behind the gateway, such as the PLC and the HMI, but you will not be able to connect to other machines or other computers inside the same factory network. Also, the factory owner who is on site can control the internet connection of the gateway. So for example, he could usually keep it offline and nobody can connect to this gateway remotely, and simply enable the connectivity when he needs someone to remotely connect for maintenance. Once the maintenance operation is finished, he puts back the E1 gateway offline, and it's a very secure way to use the solution. And the examples that I took are based if the gateway is connected through an Ethernet connectivity, like a computer, you plug a LAN cable in the E1 gateway to connect it to the internet. But sometimes this is not possible. So in this case, you can use a cellular modem inside our gateway or a Wi-Fi module. So we have 3G, 4G connectivity and Wi-Fi connectivity. And so I would like to emphasize that as the customer, you are the administrator of the Talk2M account, so you can manage the security by yourself. It's very powerful, easy to use, and very secure. By using remote access, for example, a machine builder or a system integrator can do maintenance through the internet. So instead of traveling on site, he can do everything remotely and saves a lot of time and money. He can also provide a faster and better service to his customers, thus reducing the downtime of machines. An example of a satisfied customer is this customer. It's a packaging machine builder in the US. And before using E1, it took him on average 2 days to troubleshoot one of his machines. But since he is using E1, he can do this in only 2.5 hours. So it's a lot of saved time, and the machine downtime has been reduced a lot. And also, of course, he saves a lot of money because he avoids a lot of trips. And the users, the customers of his machine builder are, of course, super happy by all the savings they can get through this service. So this was remote access, our first value proposition. And the second one is on-premises data monitoring. So where you start using the data collected from your PLC or sensors. How does it work? Well, our E1 gateway can read data from various PLC or sensors because it supports many protocols, such as Mitsubishi's MC protocol or Modbus, OPC UA, etc. The data that is collected by the E1 gateway can be stored locally inside the database, inside the memory of the E1 gateway. So you have access to your data already inside the E1 gateway. You can see graphs, etc. You can also use this data collected from PLCs to generate alarms. And you can send alarm notifications by email or SMS to warn you that something is going on in your machine and that maybe you should do a remote maintenance. Using the information collected by the E1 gateway, you can also display some dashboards, for example, local web dashboards inside the Flexi that can be reached from any web browser. And we also have some live KPIs. So live KPI, I will show you later with a demo, but it allows you to see all your fleet of machines, all your machines all around the world in one screen. And you can see the most important values, the KPIs of these machines, to easily see where a problem might be happening. It looks like this on this screenshot, the KPIs. So for each of your machines, you see some important information. And this information is colored in case there is an alarm happening somewhere. And even though the data stays locally inside the E1 gateway, you can access it remotely through our remote access service. So our E1 gateway provides a lot of different, very useful features. Another one is OPC UA. So the E1 gateway is OPC UA client and server. So for example, you could collect data from Mitsubishi PLCs using MC protocol and convert this data to OPC UA to share it with a MES or a SCADA. With this on-premises data monitoring solution, our customers can make a very easy first IoT project. It's perfect for your beginning with IoT because it's very fast. The settings is super easy. And also it's very cost effective because you only need one E1 gateway. It's called the E1 Flexi gateway to do all this. The service, Talk2M, the live KPI, it's all provided for free by HMS. So for example, you can use the live KPIs to monitor your whole fleet of machine. And if you see, for example, in this machine, there is an alarm, you can then connect directly to a local dashboard inside the E1 Flexi of this machine. So it can be a dashboard inside the E1 Flexi, or you could access, for example, the GOT HMI using its VNC server or GOT mobile server. This is possible from any device. You just need a web browser, so you can do this from any smartphone or tablet, not only from computers. Our third and last value proposition is data collections for IoT application. So I think most of you understand how it works, but our gateway, once again, can collect data from sensors and PLC, and then you can simply send this data through the internet to a software, an IoT application like Amazon or Microsoft Azure. We provide two different ways to do this. The first one is a direct connection, directly from your E1 gateway to the software using MQTT protocol or HTTPS. And we also have another way to do this, going through our Talk2M cloud service. So the Flexi pushes its data on Talk2M first, and then the software uses our Talk2M APIs to retrieve regularly this data. So it's an indirect connection with the Talk2M APIs, but it makes everything more scalable, more efficient and easy. I won't go too much in detail into this because we have a limited time, but I will now show you a demo. I will share my whole screen so that you can see the demonstration. So I will first show you how to establish a VPN connection to your machines. So I am today located in Japan, in Tokyo, And on my computer, I use our eCatcher software that you can download for free from our website to connect to a machine that is in Europe, in Belgium, about 10,000 kilometers away from me. So the eCatcher software can be used to create a new account if you don't already have one. This is free, takes only a few minutes. You click here, you fill in a few information, and you have your account. And then you can log into this account. Okay, once I am logged into my account, I can see the list of the E1 gateways registered to this account. So I have about 10 or 12 E1 gateways here. Each E1 gateway is inside a machine. So some of them are equipped with Mitsubishi PLCs. I can see these machines as a list, or I can see them also on a map. So I will connect now to a machine that is in Belgium, from Japan to Belgium, you see, at the end of the world. By the way, we also have machines in China. So even you can even connect to devices that are in China. You can manage here your devices. You can also manage the users using this software. But I will now show you how to connect to the machine. So to connect, you just select in the list the machine and you click connect. So it's only 2 clicks. You log into your account, you select the machine you want to connect, and you click the connect button. 2 clicks and a secure VPN connection is now being established from my computer in Japan to the machine in Belgium. Once this connection is ready, it's as if my computer was connected with a 10,000 kilometer long cable to the PLC in Belgium. So first I will show you, I will open, this is a web page inside our E1 gateway in Belgium. So here my computer is in Japan and I connect to an E1 gateway in Belgium and will reach the Mitsubishi PLC behind it. You can see what it looks like through an IP camera that we have. So you see here our gateway connected to a Mitsubishi FX PLC and a GOT HMI. So what I will do now is simply open GXWorks and get live with this PLC as if I was connected directly to it. So here is GXWorks. So I apologize, I only have the Japanese version, but to access my PLC, I will simply use its local IP address that I see here. So it ends with 140.26. So I will first upload the program from the PLC in Belgium to my computer because I don't have it yet. So I need here to input the IP address of this PLC. I check that it's correct, okay. And then I do a connection test, and it tells me that the connection has been successful. So you see, it's very easy. If you have already used GXWorks, I'm doing what you always do when you want to get live with one of your PLCs. Okay, so here I see the content of the PLC in Belgium, and I will start uploading the program from Belgium to Japan. Okay, the upload is finished, so I close this window. And here is the program of the PLC that I just uploaded from Belgium to Japan. And I can, for example, edit this program and then push it back to the PLC to do an update, or simply start the monitoring mode to see what's going on and do a diagnostic. So you imagine if I had to take the plane, well, first book a plane ticket, book a hotel, travel to Belgium, rent a car to visit my customer in the factory and connect to the PLC. Now in a few seconds, a few minutes, I could show you how to connect remotely and save a lot of time, a lot of money, and the customer is probably happy because he didn't have to wait 2 days for me to travel visit him. So it's a very efficient way to do remote maintenance. once I have finished my maintenance, I simply click on disconnect, and I can disconnect from PLC. I can even leave a message here if I want, for example, to give an indication to my colleague about what I did. You see it will appear here. There's a logbook to share information with the other users of this account. So this was how to use eCatcher. I can log out from my account now. And the next thing I would like to show you is our web portal. So our web portal is called M2Web. You simply need to open your web browser and input this URL, and then you can log in to your Talk2M account through this web browser. So now I'm connecting from my computer, but I could do the same thing from an iPad or a smartphone, for example. And here I see again the list of my machines. So I can see them once again as a list or as a map. And there's even color codes if there is an alarm happening somewhere. So I will once again connect to the same machine, to the camera. So you can open the camera even from inside this web browser. You see, it's what we saw previously, but this time I don't use any special software. It's directly from my web browser. And now I will access the VNC server inside this HMI. If there was a GOT mobile, sorry about this, go back in full screen. So I will connect here. Sorry, I tried to share. Whoop. Okay, like this. So now I connect to the HMI VNC server. So I need to input the password of the HMI to get live with it. And you see here, the GOT screen that you see here through the web camera, I can see it here displayed directly inside my web browser. And I can even control it. For example, I click here and you see it's not very clear. Sorry, there is some reflection, but for example, I click here on this button and you see that in Belgium, the HMI actually changes, the changes I make remotely is applied. And it's very fast. It's not even 1 second. I don't know how fast I click. Yeah, it's less than 1 second of latency between Japan and Belgium. So it's very powerful. Okay. I go back to my main screen. The next thing I would like to show you is the KPIs. So here under the name of each machine, you see some values. These values come from a PLC behind the E1 gateway. So for example, here, this E1 gateway is connected to a Mitsubishi FX5U PLC, and it is pulling data from this PLC and displaying them here directly inside this screen. So you can see up to 6 KPIs, 6 values for each of your machines, and they are colored red if there is an alarm or orange if there is a warning happening. So for example, here I have a warning. I could also connect directly to the local dashboard, local web dashboard inside my E1 gateway. If you don't have HMI on site, for example, if it's inside I don't know, a wind turbine or something like this, you will not have a GOT HMI. So instead you could use this local dashboard to monitor your application. Okay, so this was a simple demo. We don't have a lot of time, so I will stop here. Oh yes, one last thing. So you see here, it's the standard interface of our service, but it is possible to customize this interface. For example, here I created a eFactory skin for this service. And for example, if you are a machine builder, you could use this feature to provide a service to your end users, your customers, as if it was your own service. You can easily rebrand our web portal. Okay, so I will go back to the slides for just a few last slides. So the key features of our solution is, first of all, it's not just an IoT gateway to push data to software. We provide also this remote access solution with our Talk2 M service, which is super powerful and allows you to save a lot of time and money. Our solution is recognized as being very secure. We are certified by third parties, several third parties organizations. Our gateways are also very flexible. So you have a base module on which you put some extension cards. So you can have, for example, a 4G modem or a Wi-Fi module extension card. You can also have serial ports or IOs on your E1 gateway. We are an open technologies, so we are vendor independent. You will not have vendor logins. You could, for example, connect our gateways to your own open VPN server, your own IoT platform. You are not forced to use our gateways with Talk2M. However, we strongly recommend to it because it's a service that you can use for free and it's extremely powerful. You will probably not be able to develop by yourself a service as powerful as Talk2M since we have been working on it for 15 years. And then, as we showed with our free value propositions, it's a great way to start step by step. So you can first start with remote access. You can set up our remote access solution in like 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, you can already start avoiding costly travels. And then when you are comfortable with your IIoT start, you can start collecting your data and keep them locally inside the gateway to do on-premises data monitoring. And 1 or 2 years later, you can decide to move on to a full-fledged IoT application where you push your data to Amazon Web Service or such IoT application. In Singapore, we are maybe still relatively not well known, but in the US and in Europe, we are recognized as the best remote access solution for many years. So for example, in the US, we have been awarded the best remote access provider award for 6 years in a row. Last time was in June 2020. And to finish, I will give back the mic to Philippe, if you're still here, to introduce a special offer we have for you. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, thank you, Martin. And here we have the E1 Starter Kit. So for those who are interested to get started in this IoT journey with us, then we have this kit that we will be offering. Comes with the base unit, the Wi-Fi card, the I/O extension, and with some simulator module. So pretty much everything you need to get started, and we are offering it at a very, very good and attractive price. So if you're interested, please contact any of us. It can be from Mitsubishi or could be from myself, and we will get back to you.